Hey everybody, severe storm system threatening the United States. What you need to know. A very dangerous storm system is heading toward the United States over the next few days, bringing a host of significant threats, including the potential for a severe weather outbreak. This could involve damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, some of which could be strong, and a major fire risk. There's also the potential for a blizzard as part of this powerful storm system. In today's forecast, we're going to break down everything you need to know about this approaching storm system. We'll start with what's happening across the country today. The good news for now is that things are relatively quiet. There's not much happening in the Great Plains or along the East Coast. The only area with any significant activity is along the West Coast, where we're expecting heavy snow and rain today. This West Coast storm is the one that will fuel the threat for a severe weather outbreak on both Friday and Saturday in the Great Plains, the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Southeast. Severe weather threat breakdown. Let's take a closer look at the severe weather potential over the next few days. Today, there is already a slight risk of severe weather in parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana. A few storms are expected to develop tonight, which could produce significant hail and possibly an isolated tornado or two. The Storm Prediction Center, SPC, has even issued a hatched risk for large hail this evening, which means some storms could produce hail as large as tennis balls. If you live in the affected area, make sure to protect your vehicle. The tornado risk is conditional, but if a storm looks like it's about to produce a tornado, we will be live later today to provide updates, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. The greatest tornado risk will likely be along and east of the I-35 corridor. The Dallas-Fort Worth area probably won't see much tornado activity, but large hail is a possibility. Friday presents a particularly concerning setup. The severe weather risk area is massive, one of the largest you'll ever see. A marginal risk of severe weather extends from central Minnesota all the way down to the Gulf Coast. An enhanced risk, level 3 out of 5, is already in place for most of Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, and parts of Iowa. There's even a possibility this could be upgraded to a moderate risk, level 4. Friday's setup looks like it will involve a bowing segment of storms over the Midwest, which could produce damaging winds and embedded tornadoes within a line of thunderstorms. There may also be a few discrete supercells early on or overnight, but the setup is still a bit uncertain. The primary threat on Friday will likely be damaging winds, but tornadoes are definitely still a possibility. Saturday has the potential to bring a significant severe weather outbreak, possibly even a tornado outbreak. The SPC has already indicated that higher probabilities for severe weather are expected, which means a moderate risk or even a high risk, a level 5, could be issued. Currently, an enhanced risk covers areas from the Gulf Coast into Tennessee. A slight risk extends into the Ohio Valley. The main threats on Saturday will be damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes, especially in Dixie Alley, where high wind shear, instability, and moisture will create dangerous conditions. The only factor that could limit this outbreak would be any lingering morning convection or storm mode issues. However, the setup still favors discrete supercells forming in the afternoon and transitioning into a line of storms later in the evening, which could bring additional damaging wind and tornado threats. Sunday, the severe weather threat will shift eastward on Sunday with a slight risk of severe weather from Pennsylvania down to Florida. The main concern will be damaging winds, but a few tornadoes are also possible. Timing and key threats Wednesday, storms likely to develop during rush hour across North Texas. Friday, large risk area with the potential for damaging winds and tornadoes. Saturday, high-end severe weather outbreak possible, including strong tornadoes. Sunday, ongoing severe weather threat with damaging winds and tornadoes possible. Preparation and alerts. The tornado threat is conditional, but given the amount of wind shear and instability in place, an isolated tornado or two is possible, especially in northeast Texas, southern Arkansas, and northern Louisiana.
Make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts and a tornado action plan ready. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel. We may go live if the storm threat escalates. This is a dangerous storm system and the situation could change rapidly. Stay tuned for updates and take this threat seriously. Major storm system threatening the United States. Full breakdown. A dangerous storm system is approaching the United States, and it will bring multiple significant weather threats over the next several days. These include damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, some of which could be strong or long-tracked, and even blizzard conditions in some areas. Here's a detailed breakdown of what to expect. Storm setup and initial threat, Wednesday, Thursday. Currently, a cap temperature inversion is in place, which should prevent significant storms from developing early on. However, around sunset, storms are expected to fire up over northeast Texas and southeastern Oklahoma with large to very large hail, damaging winds, and possibly an isolated tornado. By around midnight, the storm activity should weaken with only about a 3 to 4 hour window for isolated tornadoes before the system fizzles out into Thursday morning. West Coast activity leading into the weekend. Tonight and tomorrow, the West Coast will experience heavy rain and snow. Isolated flooding and mudslides are possible in some areas, especially in higher elevations. By Thursday afternoon, scattered showers and snow will continue along the West Coast. A few isolated severe storms are possible in Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee tomorrow, with damaging winds being the primary threat. Friday, widespread severe weather threat. The storm system will strengthen significantly as it moves over the Rockies into the Central Plains on Friday morning. A deep low-pressure system will produce very strong winds with gusts reaching up to 80 p.m. in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. And that's before the storms even begin. Friday afternoon and evening, severe storms will begin developing in the Central Plains and the Midwest by late afternoon and early evening. A Boeing segment of thunderstorms could produce widespread damaging winds and embedded tornadoes from southern Missouri to northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. Supercell activity is possible in the deep south and lower Mississippi River Valley, where higher wind shear and increased moisture could support a more significant tornado threat. The tornado threat in the Midwest appears lower due to limited supercell activity, but embedded tornadoes within the line of storms are still possible. Saturday, potential tornado outbreak. Saturday could bring a significant severe weather outbreak, especially across the southeast. Storm setup, strong wind shear, steep lapse rates, and deep moisture from the Gulf will create a volatile environment. The Storm Prediction Center, SPC, has already highlighted the potential for a moderate risk, level 4, or even a high risk, level 5. The greatest risk zone includes Alabama, Mississippi, eastern Louisiana, and western Georgia. Multiple strong or long-track tornadoes are possible. Uncertainties. If early morning storms persist into the afternoon, they could limit the tornado threat. However, if storms remain isolated and organize into supercells by afternoon, the tornado threat could be much higher. Saturday, blizzard conditions in the northern plains. While severe weather unfolds in the south, the same storm system will produce blizzard conditions in the northern plains. Western Minnesota, eastern North Dakota, and South Dakota could see heavy snow and strong winds. Number 2, whiteout conditions and dangerous travel are possible. Sunday, severe weather moves east. The severe weather threat will shift eastward on Sunday. A slight risk for severe weather extends from Pennsylvania to Florida. Damaging winds and a few tornadoes remain possible, but the threat will likely be more isolated. Most of the severe activity will transition to a damaging wind threat along the East Coast by late Sunday. Monday and beyond, calm after the storm, but not for long. The storm system should move offshore by Monday morning, bringing a brief period of quieter weather. However, another storm system could develop toward the end of next week, so this active weather pattern may not be over yet. Take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with a new update. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment. See ya.